Welcome to the Strategic Cybersecurity channel. This is a channel where we are talking about cybersecurity at a strategic level. Today we are going to dive into the pillars of a good cybersecurity strategy. First of all, let me redefine the term CISO. A CISO is an executive that is responsible for laying out the cybersecurity strategy of an organization, right? So, what are the key pillars of a good cybersecurity strategy? The first one, it is understand the business. Understand the business means the reason of existence, how the business is driving revenues, what differentiates that business from the competition. Why? Because you can protect what you don't know. The second pillar is about know your enemy. It's about identifying the threat intelligence of your vertical markets. You should know the threats that have the highest likelihood of occurrence, the vulnerability that had the highest impact for your critical assets. This is the third pillar. The second pillar. The third pillar is about multi-layered defense. Multi-layered defense because you should have, like in the medieval era where you have a castle, you have different levels so that this is going to delay your enemy so that before they get access to your critical assets, right? So multiple layers of defense. The fourth pillar that is also very important is to understand the basics. It's all about the basics. All about the basic means having a right foundation. And when we talk about foundation, we are talking about change control, access inventory, configuration management, and data inventory. You should have a solid foundation. Without a solid foundation, you can win the cybersecurity game. It's impossible. All the organizations who are winning the cybersecurity game have a strong foundation. And let me remind you, the most important part of a house is the foundation. If the foundation is cracked or flawed, you cannot have a sustainable cybersecurity strategy. The fifth pillar is all about simplicity. Why I say simplicity? Because when you're going to do tabletop exercise for incident response, for example, you should keep things simple. Because simplicity is so powerful, because your incident response should be able to be understandable in a high pressure. Let's imagine that you have a breach, let's say at 2 a.m. And if your security team cannot explain and your incident response to the customer in simple terms, you have to redo it because it has to be simple. And the six pillars of a good cybersecurity strategy is all about risk management. But it has to be tied to the business risk of the organization, because all the assets doesn't have the same value, and the control that we have to implement has to be tied to the business goal, not at the tactical but at the strategic level. Therefore, if you want to lay out a foolproof cybersecurity strategy, a robust cybersecurity strategy, you have to take into consideration knowing your business, knowing your enemy or your threat landscape, multi-layer of the defense. You should have a good foundation, simplicity in the designing of incident response, tabletop exercise, and risk management that are tied to the business risk and allied to the goal of the organization. If you find this episode very interesting, please share the link and subscribe to the channel. And until then, stay secure at a strategic level. Thank you.